we have what is known as revenue, cost, and profit. So this is where we are starting. And I believe this is also part of your assignment number 1. So there are a lot of things that are involved. We have got what is known as cost. So you need to know when they are saying cost, what does it mean? So it means those who have got videos, who are switching on their videos, may they just close and also mute yourself so that others can also hear. Okay. So a cost is what one needs to pay or give up in order to get something. Okay. So obviously, when you are doing business, we all understand that the reason why we do business is because we want to make profit. But for you to make profit, am I not loud, guys? Am I not loud?
I can hear you, but yeah, I can
No,
hear
you're
you.
loud. You're loud, my brother. We all can hear you.
And guys, can you please all put our microphones on mute, because maybe say that's the things say that's interfering.
Okay. All right. So I was saying, when it comes to business, you have to incur some costs in order for you to make profits. So cost is what one needs to pay or give up in order to get something. So in business, cost is an amount of money that represents the effort, material resources, time consumed, utilities consumed, risk incurred, and opportunities that might have been missed in the process of producing something or delivering a service. Okay, so when you are dealing with this module, you need to pay attention to the formula and also pay attention to details. What is being described there? So we have got our formula here. Total cost is broken down into fixed costs, which are represented by FC, and variable costs, which are represented by VC. So this is the formula to find a total cost. So whenever you are asked to find a total cost, when you have got the fixed cost and the variable cost, you know that you will use this formula. Okay. So pay attention, take note of this formula. It might be asked on your assignment, it might be asked on your exam. So you need to take note of this. Okay. Then fixed cost is the expense or a cost that does not change when the number of items that are produced or sold changes. Fixed costs are expenses that have to be paid by a company independent of any business activity. So I know those who have done accounting or who are doing accounting, you understand what a fixed cost is, what a variable cost is. So it's just even when any amount increases in terms of quantities or anything, this fixed cost will remain as it is. It doesn't change. Then the variable cost depends on production output. It is a constant amount per unit produced. These costs may include the cost of raw materials used in production, the cost of utilities like electricity, labor costs, and sales commissions to be paid. So variable cost is calculated as the quantity of goods produced, which is represented by a letter Q, multiplied by the cost per unit, which is represented by a small c. That is, so you might not be told that variable cost is equal to any amount or something, but what you need to know is you might be given the quantity and also the cost. So you then know that your variable cost constitutes of the quantity times the cost. Okay. So that's the first part. So we have got this. So as you can see, this one, the first one, which is this is the fixed cost. Okay. And this one and this includes the variable. So it's cost times quantity. Then it gives you this. So it's 4Q. All right. I know it might not make sense at the moment, but when you are dealing with the examples, you understand what is happening. Okay. Then when you are drawing your graph, normally the total cost normally starts from where the fixed costs are. So this will be the typical example of the graph of total cost. All right. Now, then revenue. Revenue is just, in retail store, the prices of products are usually fixed. So the amount of money that a storekeeper will receive from selling a certain product is called the total revenue. So this total revenue, it includes all right. So the total revenue is when you are selling your product, the money that you are going to get, in other words, the income that you are going to get, that's the total what revenue. Those who are drawing, please don't. So total revenue is calculated by multiplying the price per unit, which is represented by P, by the number of units sold, represented by Q. That is TR, which is total revenue, is equals to Q times P. Okay. So this formula is very short. So when you are asked about the revenue, this is the formula that you need to use. Is TR is equals to Q times P. So if, for example, a product is sold for 10 Rand per unit, then total revenue is given by 10Q, which is 10 times quantity. Okay. All right. So now let's go on. So when you calculate, now we know the formula for calculating the total cost and also the total revenue. But now if you want to find the profit, it's simply this formula. It ends here. That's the formula. So profit is equal to total revenue minus total cost. Then you get your profit. In other words, you can use this also, this one. But remember, FC plus VC is the same as this TC, which is total cost. Okay. Now, when TR is equals to TC, it means that the business didn't make any profit. So in other words, the company is at break even. So it neither incur any loss or any profit. So it's just profit is equals to 0. Then when total revenue is greater than total cost, the company will make profit. Okay. In other words, we are saying the money that we received after selling our products minus the cost that were the total cost that were incurred, it eventually becomes our profit, which is greater than 0. So it means the business had made a profit. But when it is less than the total cost, it means that the business has incurred a loss. So take note of that. They might ask you a question and say, calculate the profit. Then you have to determine whether the business has made profit or it had made any losses. Okay. All right. Now, when you are asked to draw the graph for total revenue, normally you can see it starts from 0. Then as you keep on increasing your quantities, then the total revenue will also increase significantly. All right. So here is the example that we have. All right. So a tuck shop at the station has fixed the cost of 600 Rand per week. You were told already, this is the clue. They sell pies at a fixed price of 25. This is another. While the product cost per pie is 10 Rand. We assume all the pies that are produced will be sold. Okay. So I want to ask somebody, if we want to determine our total cost, what must we do here? Since we said total cost is equals to what? Variable cost plus fixed cost. Now, so you need to take individually. Then you say FC is equals to what? We were told that fixed cost is equals to 600. So your FC is equals to 600. Now, we are also told that they sell pies at a fixed price. So we've got price of 25 Rand. Okay. A fixed price of 25 Rand each, while the production cost per pie is 10 Rand. Okay. So we have got pie which represents the product that is being what? That is being produced. And also we have got a small letter C for the cost, which is this 10 Rand. Okay, so we now want to plug all this into this. So we are told that FC is 600. Okay. Then for us to find the FC, we say it's equal to C times what? Times Q. So C is 10 times Q, then is 10Q. So then it will be this. So TC is equal to FC plus VC, which is equal to this one. Okay. Then though here we can also deduce that total revenue. Remember, we said total revenue is equals to what? P times Q. isn't it? So our P is 25. So our total revenue will be 25Q. All right. Then if we now want to calculate the profit, we say the profit is equals to TR minus TC. So in other words, 25Q minus 600 plus 10Q. Okay. So which is equal to minus times what is in the bracket. So 25 minus 10Q, that's 15Q. Minus 600. So this will be your profit. This will be your profit. Okay. All right. And let's see. Let me just do this. Is there anyone who is lost so far? Or we are still together?
If I may ask, so the question here is what? Calculate the profit.
Yeah,
Because the
for now,
statement
if we are to look at this question, it doesn't tell us anything because we are just formulating what we are assuming, like from what we have learned so far, we are just formulating to say, if we want to calculate the total cost, what do we do? If we want to calculate the total revenue, what
Okay.
do we do? And also, if we want to calculate the profit, what do we do? But if you are to look at this, it's not even stated clearly, or they didn't even say you need to calculate this and this and this. Okay. All right.
And can I quickly ask again?
Okay.
How the questions are asked is a problem because now, in this case, now, let's say the question was saying calculate profit, right? And then my assumption or my understanding will be when you're calculating profit, you're supposed to get a value, at the end, in order for you to say this is a profit, whatever the case may be. However, with the example that is given right now, because I've seen in other questions it says calculate the formula of profit. So this
Yeah.
it will make sense because it will come out like this. So P will be 15Q. So this is the formula. However,
Yeah.
when it says calculate profit and then you come out of this of with then it becomes a challenge and you start asking yourself whether is the question what you call is my answer okay because I don't get a straight value. Instead I get 52 minus 600.
Okay. So normally, like what you are saying, as you can see, this one is called a function, right? Why? Because it's just an equation with unknown terms, which are which they call variables. So here now, if the question now says calculate the profit, and probably after they have produced maybe let's say 30 products, 30 products or 30 pies, according to this. So now, if you want to know the actual profit, you then need to substitute this quantity of 30 where there is Q here. So you then say 15 times 30, the amount that you are going to get minus this one. Then that's when you get the actual profit, which is the value that we're talking about. But as for yet, this one is a function, which is 25Q for TR. And this one also is a function for variable cost. And this one is a function for TC, total cost. Okay. But I believe that there are some exercises that are there, which we might also use the knowledge that we have inquired so far to calculate this. So this one is a function. That's why they had to draw this graph. Okay.
Okay, no, it's clear. So that means when it will end here. When they're looking for an actual cost or profit, then your answer must be a value.
Yes, if they say, let's say there are a certain number of products that have been produced. So calculate the profit. Already you started from here, from TC is equals to this, then followed by the total revenue, which is equals to this. Now you know that for you to calculate the profit is equals to total revenue minus TC. Then after that, you are now here. When you are now here, that's when you substitute whatever values that are there. Sometimes they can even say, what is the total cost here? And probably you just need to put this 30 into this. Then you know that your total cost will be 600 plus 300, which is equal to 900. So let's just see, probably I've got such an example whereby we see how we apply this. All right.
Can I ask you? Where you said P is equal to 15Q, or where you said P is equal to 25Q minus in bracket 600 plus 10Q. If you can simplify, how did you come to P is equal to 15Q minus 600? I know that I'm taking you back.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Let me do that. So we are saying 25, right? Q minus 600 plus 10 Q. So, which is our profit, right? So 25 Q. So now we have got a bracket. So we want to multiply everything that is in the bracket with the negative sign here. Okay. So remember, this 600 without a sign, it means it's a positive. Okay. So normally when you are dealing with multiplication, minus times positive will always give you a negative. Okay. So let's say you have got 1 here and you have got 2. So firstly, you multiply 1 times 2, you get 2, but the sign will remain as negative, so which will be minus 2. So here, minus 1 times 600 is minus 600. Okay. Then same rule again, minus times plus. Here, minus times 10Q, we will have our minus 10Q. So we group like terms together. So 25Q minus 10Q minus 600. So 25 minus 10, that's 15. But the letter will remain, then minus 600. So that's how we got to this.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Now I'm taking you to metric. I've done metric 20 years ago. So thank you.
No, it's fine. All right. Perfect. Okay, this is what I've been doing. This is it. All right. So let's go to an actual example. Right. Here we have got this one. Now I want your participation. So it says the surfing club provides swimming lessons to boost their funds. The club has fixed the cost of 250 Rand per day when offering these classes, mostly for insurance, and it costs them 25 Rand for each lesson given. So your first question is write down the total daily cost function. So in other words, you have to write the total function, the total cost. So from the information that we are given, let's plot. We said our formula is total cost is equals to variable cost, fixed cost plus variable cost. So from here, from the information that we are given, what is our fixed cost?
It's 250.
450, yes. Right. Then our variable cost?
We're going to simplify it and say variable cost is going to be 2 times C, which is going to 25Q.
25Q.
Yeah. So they said write down the total daily cost function. So this will be the function that they require. Okay. Right. Then B says calculate the total cost to provide 20 lessons. So how do we calculate B?
You substitute the Q with the 20.
Plus
25 times
25 times 20.
Yeah. So we are substituting from this formula, right? So 250
yes.
plus what's the answer there? Those who have got calculators.
It's 500.
500, right? Okay. So that's 750 rand. So that's your answer for B. So now they are saying how many lessons did they provide if total cost amounted to 1.4? So how do we calculate this one?
Do the reverse.
So how is the reverse going to be done?
TC is going to be equal to 1,400.
All right. You say TC is equals to 1,400.
Equals to 250 plus 25Q.
250.
Sorry, man. I meant plus. Sorry, plus. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. Yeah.
Okay, and then I guess we're gonna do the transformation of 1,004 minus 250. I think.
All right. So we are saying this one is coming this side, right? So we are saying 1.4. Since it was a positive, now it becomes a negative. It's equals to 25Q. All right. So this one, what do we get?
1,150.
1,150
equals to 25.
So how then?
And we divide 5.
So both sides by 25.
Yes.
Then what will be our answer?
46.
46. Okay. So the question is saying how many lessons did they provide if total cost amounted to 1.4? So you are simply saying if the total cost is 1.4, they will provide 46 lessons. So that would be your answer. Is there a question? Anyone lost here?
We're still together.
Okay, perfect. So that's how you do it. Let's do number 4. Okay. So number 4 is saying a firm produces calculators for a certain shop. Their fixed cost is 1,000 and each calculator costs 15 Rand to produce. The calculators are sold for 35 Rand each week. Okay, so write down the equation for the total cost.
Sorry, sir.
Yes.
Sorry. Can you go back to that number 60?
Number
C, the one that's just
this
worked out now of the lady.
this one.
Yeah, the one that just worked out of the lady now.
Let me do
So
this.
the 200. Okay.
Yeah.
So the 250 was our fixed cost, right?
Yes.
And yes, and then the 250 plus 25, that is our variable cost.
25Q.
The 200 yes, the 25Q is our variable, and then from there the 200. I just want to. Okay, sorry, there's something I was lost there, so now I can see that I made a mistake. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
We can continue. Thank you. Sorry.
Okay. So what I would advise you probably before you have your formula like this one, right? So you then say TC sorry, you have got your formula already like that. So what you do is FC on a side on a extra piece of paper. So since you are told, you write your 250 here, right? Then variable cost is equals to C times Q. Your C here, it says it cost them 25 Rand. So that's 25 times Q, which is cost to 25Q, right? Then you plug these ones onto the formula. So where there is FC, you put your 250 here, plus then VC, you put your VC here. Then that would be your final answer.
So
Okay.
thank you, sir.
All right. You're welcome. So here we are. They might ask you this question. So a firm produces calculators for a certain shop. Their fixed cost is 1,000 and each calculator costs 15 Rand to produce. The calculators are sold for 35 Rand each. Okay. So what is our FC?
It's 1,000.
That's 1,000. Yes.
Yes, plus the.
Then our VC.
Our VC I said is 35Q.
Why 35Q?
Because the VC, if I remember, is price times quantity, and we know the price is about 35 Rand.
Price times quantity, that's your TR. total revenue.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
So your
VC.
VC is C, the cost, times Q times the quantity.
Oh, I see. I see.
Yeah.
I see. So that will be then the cost.
35 multiplied by
Yeah.
That's
35
15
multiplied
Q.
by yes, yes.
Yeah. So take note of this. When they say each calculator cost to produce, know that it's part of the variable cost. That's the cost. Then, but you are not told the number of quantities. So you then multiply by Q. Then when they say sold, it means that's the price that they used to sell the product. So it's the price. So now you know that your P is what? Is equals to 35. That's why I was saying it is important for you to write down these variables. As you are reading your question, you can write them down separately. Okay. Now, since we are told, write down the equation for the total weekly cost. Now you know that TC is equals to FC plus BC. Now you just plug this one, which is equals to that's 1,000
1,000
plus 15 kilo. Just write this down because I might need to clear this this page. All right, now it says graph the total cost function for Q is equals to 10 0 to 10. All right. So what you need are normally two, it might be two coordinates only. So we have got this function that we have. So if Q is equals to 0, right? Then TC is equals to what? So we substitute Q with 0 in this equation. So if Q is 0, then we say 1,000 plus 15 times 0. So what will be the answer for TC?
Is it not 1,000?
1,000.
Yeah.
All right. So if Q is equals to 100, then what will be the TC?
It will be 2,500.
2.5. Okay. So you are now asked to plot the graph for the total function. So this is it. Pardon my drawing. So you might put 500, 1,000, 1.5, 2,000, 2.5, but let me start from let's say 0, 1,000, and here.
Sorry, where did you get the TC is equal to 2,500? You just lost me there.
You are lost.
Yes.
Okay. We are saying on this equation that we have here, this one. If our Q is 100, then what will be our TC? So we are simply saying 1,000 plus 15 times 100 for Q. So 1,000 plus 1.5, which will give us 2.5.
Oh, okay. Yes,
Yeah.
I got you. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So I was saying you can, then this is 1,000, then this is 2,000. So you can use even a graph just to plot this. Maybe you start from 0, 500, then you go on. then this is 100. Remember, your fixed cost, when, in other words, these are coordinates. So we are saying 0, 1,000. Okay. The other coordinates is 100, 2.5. Okay. So we are saying when, in other words, the TC represents the y-axis. So TC is equals to y-axis. Then the Q, right, is equals to x-axis. All right. So here that's TC and here that's Q. So this is your fixed cost. Then let's say maybe 2.5 is somewhere here. So we are saying if our TC is equals to 0, then if our Q is equals to 0, then TC is equals to 1,000. So that's here, right? Then if it is 1,000, then we just see where they intersect like this, something like this. So we plot our point here. Then we draw our straight line like this. So you then just need to write 100, 250, 2.5, I mean. Then you just write the function TC is equals to FC 1,000 plus 15 kilo. So that's the graph that they want you to draw. You got it?
Yeah, we've got it.
All right. Now, let's move on. I said, write this function down, this one, so that when I want it, I will just ask from you guys. All right. Now it says, what is the total cost to produce 25 calculators? So we say TC is equals to 1,000, right? Plus 15Q. So to produce 25 calculators, so 25 is represented by the quantity. So we are saying 1,000 plus 15 times 25. So 1,000 plus 15 times 25. Those with the calculator.
375.
375.
Plus 1,000.
It's 1,375.
So that's your total cost. That's what they want you to calculate here. Okay. Now, they are asking how many calculators are produced if total cost amount to 7,000. Remember, we have to do what we did
Previously, yes. So
yes.
it's say 7,000 is equal to 1,000 plus 15Q.
Yeah, 7,000 is equals to, let me remove this, this one. Okay, so this one goes here. So that's 7,000 minus 1,000 is equals to 15Q. So that's 6,000 is equals to 15Q. So we divide by 15 both sides, 15. So Q is equals to
400.
Sorry?
400.
400.
Okay. So that would be the answer for this. Okay. Now they are saying find the total revenue. Find the total revenue. We said total revenue is equals to price times quantity. So the price 35.
The price was 35 rand.
Yeah. So that's 35Q. So this is the answer for this.
Bukeleni.
Please, can you mute? There's someone who's speaking there.
All right. So now we are moving on to the graph. Remember when we started, I said the graph for TC, it starts from the fixed cost line. You saw it on our previous example. But this one, the TR, it starts from 0, okay? Now, we are saying we want to create our coordinates. When Q is equals to 0, what will be our TR? Here, we substitute with 0.
35, isn't it 35?
Zero.
Zero.
Oh,
Zero,
yeah,
right?
0, yes.
Then when Q is 1,100, sorry, then this one will be what?
3,500.
Yes. All right. So we have got 2 coordinates already. Okay. So we have got 0 here, and we have got 100 here. Then my 1,000 is here. My 2,000 is here. My 3,000 is here. Maybe, let's say 3.5 is somewhere here. You can do this with a scale or using the exact scale. All right. So 0, 0 is here. Then 100, 3.5, something like this. But normally you are not even required to draw these lines, but I'm just showing you these ones. Then you connect like this. So that's 100, 3.5. Okay. So that's the graph. This is the graph. Okay. Now, yes, yes.
Okay, on the graphs, man, I'm just asking in case things change, this thing. I haven't seen anywhere on the question paper where it must work out because honestly, I'm not, I don't get them very well. So, yeah, I was just asking how to, like, is it super important for us to know how to draw them, or we just doing them so that we understand in this case?
So if you are saying, will they ask you to draw a graph or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes they might not ask you to draw a graph, but they might provide you with different graphs and they tell you which one is representing the TR function.
Okay.
Okay, so in that scenario now, you now need to know, how do I plot a graph? So what I would advise, like what I'm doing, you see, if Q is equals to 0, then I put my coordinates here. If Q is equals to 100, I put my coordinates here. Now, when I'm looking at the different graphs that they might have provided for me, then I will check the one that resonates with this one, which starts from this one and also ends at this one. So I will eventually go to the one with this. So then I will say, if the option is C, I will then answer saying C. Okay. All right.
Are you saying that we have to get the total revenue function first, and then
Yes.
use the total revenue function to get the coordinates, to calculate the coordinates that you mentioned, 0, 0, and 100?
Yes. Of the graph.
And
Yes.
then you use that to plot the graph.
Mhm.
Use the coordinates to plot the graph to get the answer, so to speak.
Yes.
So if they
Yes.
ask us to plot the graph, we have to do
This.
determine the
Mhm.
function and then do
Mhm.
the coordinates. Okay.
Yes. But if they say choose from the given graphs, still you have to do this, but you then select this will assist you to select the right graph.
Okay.
Okay. They might even put other like, let's say 10 here, right? 20, 30, 40, 50, but this will not change this graph, because what they are simply saying is when Q, let's say this is Q, right? And this is TR. So what they are saying is when Q is 10, what will be TR? So you come here and say 35 times 10, that's 350. So 10 and 350, you mark it on the graph. You mark another one, you mark another one. These points, they will just assist you so that you can plot your your line straight. But these two are enough even to plot your graph. Okay. Like yes. You may ask.
No, nothing. I was just saying thank you.
Okay. Because if you are to check, let me just go back to this one. Maybe the one you see, this one that they plotted.
Yeah.
This, you can even start when Q is equals to 0 here, then the profit is minus 600. So they started from there, right? Then when Q is 100, that's 1.5. 1.5 minus 600. What do you get? 900. So here, so you just plot this one and this one, then you connect. You see. So these ones, they just these ones is just there to say when it is 20 times 15, I think is 300. Then minus 300. So somewhere there, or I don't know, 20 times it's 450. Yeah. So here you plot. Here again you plot. Here again. But this is time consuming. Here again. Then lastly here. So you can then draw your straight line like this. But as long as you have got this first one and the last one, you are good to go. You just put your ruler and do this. Okay. Now, they are saying how many calculators are sold when TR is equals to 1,750. So we know our TR is equals to 1,750, right? So, sorry, it's 35Q, right? 35Q, that's our TR. So if our TR is 1.5, so we are saying is equal to 35Q, then we divide by 35. We divide also this one by 35.
Sorry. 750.
It's
1,000. Not 1,000.
1,750.
Our TR is 1,700.
TR is 1750. Yeah, TR is 1750, not 1500.
TR. Oh,
Yeah, it's
750.
17.
Sorry. Oh, thank you. Sorry. 750. Okay.
Answer is 50.
The
All
answer
right.
is 15.
Okay. So wait for 50. So in other words, how many calculators are sold when TR is? So we are saying when TR total revenue is 1750, there
40
are
calculators.
50 calculators that were sold. That's it. So now, here's the question. Does the firm's total revenue exceed total cost when 80 calculators are produced? So any suggestion? What do you think we need to do here on H?
I think we need to
do the profit calculation.
yeah.
All right.
No,
But
I personally
Mhm.
think we just need to substitute because it says when how many 80? When 80 that is the quantity.
Calculators.
So I think it's just like 35 multiplied by 80, and then you're gonna find the total revenue. And then you
All right.
compare the total revenue.
Total revenue is equals to 35 times 80.
Yes.
So what do we get?
2,800.
2,800.
Yes.
Okay.
But they also say, does the firm's total revenue exceed total cost? So we also need to find the total cost, right? What's the
Yes.
what was the formula? It was what? 1,000.
1000
plus
15Q.
15Q.
Okay. So 1,000 plus 15 times 80.
15 times 80, yeah.
What's the so it's 1,000 plus
2200.
1.2, which is close to 2,200. All right. So now the question is, does the firm's total revenue exceed total cost when 80 calculators are produced? This is our total revenue, and
Yes.
this is our. So the answer will be what? Yes. Right.
Yes.
Now it says what does this mean?
He's making profit.
Okay. So
He's
it means
making
yes.
profit.
Yes.
Of
Remember
600.
600.
we said TR, if TR is greater than TC, it is caused what? Profit.
Okay.
Right. Right. Now they are saying calculate the firm's profit when 80 calculators are produced. Since you have got these figures already, profit is equals to TR minus TC. So TR is equals to 2.8 minus 2.2. Then we have got what? 600. That will be the profit. So for revenue, we are done. Do you still have any challenge there?
None, sir.
Okay.
So
So all right, let's go to the next one. So we have got the demand and the supply. Those who are doing economics, they know these things. All right. So the term demand represents the quantity of a product or a service, which is represented by Q, that consumers would buy at a certain price. Okay, so it represents the quantity of a product or a service that consumers would buy at a certain price. So the demand for a product is negatively related to the price that is asked for the product. That is, the quantity demanded decreases when the price increases. Okay, so you want to buy your tomatoes and somebody saying 20 rand, 10 tomatoes. Okay, so probably most people will just go and buy them. But now if another person comes and say, these tomatoes now, we are saying 20 rand, 5 tomatoes. So what would definitely happen is that the people who would want to buy the products, the 20 rand tomatoes from that particular person will decrease. So that's what they are saying. If the quantity demanded, decreases when the price increases. So if the price increases, then the product, those who would want the product will be reduced. Okay. Now, consumers will buy less of a product if its price increases, while they will buy more of a product at a lower price. So this is simply demand. So the demand function can be modeled by a linear equation. This one. Take note of this. Okay. Where A and B are constants, Q is the dependent variable. Can somebody explain what do we mean by a dependent variable?
Depending on something, it's reliant on something, I guess.
And independent variable.
It's independent whether the change is changing anything. Independent, you know. Yeah, whether it's change in demand or yeah, whatever. So I guess dependable will be depending on whether the demand is high, whether the price increases. That is just my understanding.
Okay. So what we are simply saying is that whatever that is on the left-hand side of the equal sign, all right, depends on what is on the right-hand side. But for us to get the quantity that is on the left, we need what is on the right side. So you need to pay attention, especially on this topic, because sometimes there are moments whereby they will ask you a question. So you need to determine, is it the quantity that determines the price, okay? Or is the price that determines the quantity? So you need to take note of that. Which one determines the value of the other? Because if you miss that, it means that so it means that yes, somebody saying a
the quantity I buy depends on the price of the product.
Somebody saying a study that is measured and affected by changes in the independent variables. Thank you. Yes. So what I was saying is you need to when a question is asked, you need to find out, is it the quantity that determines the price or the price that determines the quantity? Otherwise, if you are going to solve your equation using this one, and yet you were supposed to use it using this one, then that becomes a problem. Okay. So let's just continue. So comparing this with the linear function, we see that the vertical intercept is given by A. We find the intercept on the horizontal axis by setting Q is equals to 0. That is 0 is equals to A minus BP, or P is equals to A over B. All right. So this is what we were doing. Remember, when we have got such an equation, A minus BP is equals to 0. Then if we use BP comes here, so we can say BP is equals to A. Then we divide by B, both sides. So we'll get to this. So that's what they are just simply explaining there. All right. Yes?
There was a road name where you said it is important for us to know when to use what, like when to take note whether price is dependent of quality or else. However, your first question was for us to determine which one is dependent and which one is independent. By the statement here, it says that AB, actually it says that Q is dependent to the dependent variable, and it says that P is independent. However, on your statement, it sounded like you're saying there is times where P is dependent of Q, and there is times where Q is dependent of P. You just need to determine when is one dependent of the other. How, so it's more like confusing. Is P really independent, or it's independent based on conditions? Like, I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, like just to understand the simple definition, like what the other one said that a dependent variable is a stat that is measured and it will be affected by changes in the independent variable. Okay. So what changes now? In other words, we are saying what changes is the independent variable, right? Is the one that changes. But when it changes, it is going to affect what? This. I think it will be clearer, especially when we are also dealing with the examples. Maybe for now, it might, but what you need to know is each question, when it asks you about make P the dependent variable, what is simply saying, it says make P the subject of formula. Okay. So the dependent variable will be on the left of the equal sign and the independent variable will be on the right. So just keep that it simple like that. When they ask to say make P the dependent variable, you know that P must be on the other side of the equal sign, which is to the left, and Q then will be on the right. But as it is, Q is the dependent, so I will put it on the what? On the left side of the equal sign. Okay. Then the slope will be minus B, which is this equation, as you can see. So the slope will be determined by this part. Okay. All right, so note that the demand function for, no, it's fine, fine. So consider the demand function Q is equals to 200 minus 2P. All right, 200 minus 2P. Now, to plot the linear demand function, we can either find 2 points on the line or use the slope and intercept. And intercept, for example, by setting P is equals to 0. That's what we were doing when we were plotting the graphs, okay? So we will then find Q is equals to 200. That will be the first point, 0 and 200. And also we can eventually put set Q is equals to 0, and then eventually we'll get the x coordinates, which is this one. So then you just plot here and there. That's it. So that's the demand function. All right. So it is clear that the slope of the demand line is negative because you are coming from the left-hand side to the right-hand side. So in other ways, the slope, that's the gradient. If you still remember when you were doing your gradient, if I'm not mistaken, I think gradient is determined by, is what? Gradient of a, like this, it will be minus b over a, something like that. So whereby you take the 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 coefficient of a, if it was ax, something like that, you take this as the coefficient. That's the one you use as a, and b will be the one with this. But anyway, let's just move on. So on the other hand, when the price is 100 rand, the quantity demanded will be 0, which means that the price is too high and nobody will buy the product. Okay, I think you understand. Now on the supply represents the quantity of a product or a service that is made available in the market depending on the price of the product or service. There is a positive relationship between the supply of a product and its price, that is. So the quantity supplied increases when the price increases. The quantity supplied increases when the price increases. So when the price of a good is high, suppliers want to sell more in order to make more profit. That's increasing supply. So that's the whole idea with this. So when the price of a good decreases, however, suppliers will also decrease the quantity supplied. So as in the case with the demand function, we consider supply Q as the dependent variable and the price P as the quantity, the independent variable. So this will be the general equation. This will be the general equation for the supply. Okay. So remember, for the demand, it's Q is equals to A minus B, then P. Then for this will be this. Where Q is the number of the units supplied, P is the price per unit, and C and D are constants. Okay. So,
Can I ask you?
uh,
On that statement that says when supply quantity supplied increases when the price increases, don't you think that it was going to be more complete if they say quantity supply? Does quantity supply mean demand? Does it mean that? Because now, if ever they say, okay, let's forget the quantity supply. If they say price, what you call the supply increases when the price increases with an increased demand, then I think it will be a complete statement, because when the price increases and the company orders more in order for them to make more profit, it also depends on the demand as well, because the price can increase, and due to when the price increases, then the demand decreases. What is the need for the user of the company to order more, regardless of whether they're making profit or not? So don't you think that having to add a demand statement there is important to make the statement complete?
okay, but what I would take this statement for, let's say you what I can take it the way I view it, probably are the one who is producing those products, right? So if you are the one producing those products, no matter how you increase the price, still you will be able to supply. Why? Because you are the only one who is producing that. Okay. There are no substitute products that are being offered on the market. So eventually, when I am producing this alone, then I can increase the product as well as also that product is on demand. Like the people who are buying to me, they love that product. So they are left with no option but to acquire it from me. So I think that's how this statement come to be.
So hence I was saying that the demand statement or the demand part, it's also important to make this complete. I don't know if that makes sense, because it will also question the part of the demand. Because with your explanation, if you can say on demand, ne, and then the quality supplied increases, the price still will increase, or the price when the price increases, something like that. But something that has to do with the demand as well, being in demand, the demand as well increases. Then the quantity supply increases when the price, something like that, if that makes sense. But something that has to do with the demand being or not being excluded in the statement.
Yeah, in the statement. Yeah, I get you. Okay. All right. So here is the person. I think we'll just do this example and just one activity or two then. It says, John supplies hand-printed t-shirts to a craft marketer. He will only supply t-shirts when the price per t-shirt is more than 50 rand, and will increase his output by 20 units for every 10 rand increase in price. Okay. So we are saying if you only supply t-shirts when the price per t-shirt is more than 50 rand. So in other words, when price is less than 50, he is not going to supply, right? So, but when the price is greater than 50, that's when you will increase each output by 20 units for every 10 rand. So now, which means that the line goes through the point PQ. Remember, we are saying our equation is what? We are saying that we are comparing this with minus C over D, which is 50. So giving the vertical intercept as C is equals to minus 50D. All right. So you are using this as the supply example, the equation for the supply. So we are saying that if if the price is less than 50, our product will just be our price will remain as 50, right? But the quantity to be supplied will be 0. Why? Because we want the price to be above what? 50. Okay. So if then we move on to say that remember we say I was saying that from that graph I don't know if it's still there, where we talk about the gradient, where we said this one, the slope, the gradient will be that's C over D, right? Minus is equals to 50 is the same as if we multiply both sides, which is minus C is equals to 50Q, 50D, right? Which is C is equals to minus 50D. So this one is the same as, so if we are to plug it here, if we are to say C is equals to minus 50D, we are saying Q is equals to minus 50D. And also the price is equal to what? To 50 plus 50. All right, plus 50D. So this one will cancel each other. And we'll get Q is equals to what? To 0. So now, since we are told that the slope of the line is found from the fact that Q will increase by 20, I was just explaining this part. All right, so the slope of the line is found from the fact that Q will increase by 20 for every 10 increase in P. So remember, when we talk about gradient, we say change in X, right, over change in Y. But here, in this instance now, we are no longer using X. We are now saying change in quantity over change in what? In price. Okay, so we are told that if the price will increase by 20, so we are saying G, which is our gradient, our slope, G will be change in quantity, which is 20, over change in what? In price, which will give us 2. Okay. So since we have got this equation, C is cos minus 50D. So since now we also have D, we can substitute to find the value of C. C is equals to minus 50 by 2, which is equals to minus 100. So now our equation will be Q is equals to C, that's minus 100 plus 2 for D P. Okay.
Can I quickly ask you?
Sorry?
Can I quickly ask you?
In
this equation, the Q is the quantity. C, does it still represent the cost?
Does it what?
Does C in this equation still represent the cost? And then P, I'm not sure what is it going to be, and then P is the price.
Here we are doing, we are dealing with the supply function. The total cost, we are done with it for now. So at this instance, we are dealing with the demand and the supply. And we are to find the supply function, and yet we have got this equation for the supply. This is the equation that we are using. But remember, we said for this guy to produce, or for this supplier to produce the t-shirts, the Q is supposed to be, the price is supposed to be greater than what? 50. So we assume that if price is equals to 50, right? If price is equals to 50, it means that there are no quantities that are going to be produced. That's why we come up with this idea where we said Q is equals to C, right, plus. Then we said our price is 50 times what? Times D. So that's 50 D, right? But for us to have Q equal to 0, we need something here on C. So that's why we then had to do this minus C over D is equals to 50, whereby C is equals to minus 50D. Even by merely looking at this, for you to get 0 here, you just need to put, in place of C, you must put minus 50D, right? Plus 50D. Then you get 0. Yeah.
Yes.
So this
The
one is for the
calculation that-
supply function.
Okay. Sorry to disturb you. The calculations there, they make sense and I can follow. But now my question in this case, right, is to like what is what represents what? Because in this, as much as we are done with the revenues and the what, now we're dealing with the cost and supply, but P in this case still represents price, and I would assume Q still represents quantity. So I just want to understand, is this just the variables for the equation or they represent something as well in this case?
Yeah. These variables, what we want to find out is the supply function, the equation for the supply. That's what we want to look for.
Okay. So I would assume they're just variables, they don't represent anything. Please first me. Okay. Thank you.
Welcome. So this is where we wanted to get to here. The vertical indices, because unfortunately here they are just saying, but they are not even explaining why they are doing this and that. All right, so the vertical intercept is therefore at C is equals to minus 52 times 2. This is the equation. So the slope is D, which is determined by C over D. All right, but all right, here is the example. So suppose the demand function for joyrides at a merry-go-round is given by Q is equals to 64 minus 4P, where Q is the number of rides per hour and P is the price per ride in rand. So find the demand when P is equals to 0 and the price when Q is equals to 0, and write these results as a coordinate. So what do you do here? You are given this equation, Q is equals to 64 minus 4P. So, and you are being asked to say, find the demand when P is equals to 0 and the price when Q is equals to 0. So already you understand that Q is the demand, right? The question is given you, suppose the demand function. Already you know that currently you are dealing with what? With the demand function, because the question has given you the clue already. So now Q is equals to 64 minus 4P. Now they are saying find the demand when P is equals to 0. So how do you do that?
I would think number in the first part, the demand when P is equal to 0 is going to be 64. That is my assumption.
Okay.
And then,
So we are saying like this, right?
yes, yes, sir.
So meaning to say Q is equals to what? To 64.
Okay.
Yeah. So that will be find the demand when P is equals to 0 and the price when Q is equals to. So it's saying write these results as coordinates. So you are saying 0, 64. Q is 64, yeah.
Q, when P is equal to 0.
Yeah. Now it says when Q is 0, what is the price? So now you are just saying 0, 64 P, 64 minus
Minus 4.
64 minus 4P. Then this one goes there. So 4P is equals to 64. Then you divide by 4. So P is equals to what? 16. And they say write as what? As coordinates. So 16, 0. Remember the coordinates are in form of P, Q.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this is what they wanted you to do here. So now, that's 16, 0. So it's now says use these coordinates to plot the demand function with Q on the vertical axis. Okay. So we just get back to what we have discussed before. Just draw your graph like this. So you have got what? This is your P, it ends at 16, right? So this is your P and this is your Q, which ends at 64, right? Then when P is equals to 0, when P is 0, then Q is 64 here, right? Then when P is 16, then it's here. So you just draw it like this. That's the graph that they want you to draw. Okay. Then they are saying, what is the change in demand if P, what is the change in demand Q if price P increases by 1 unit? Okay. So what they want you to do is just to determine the slope. So remember the slope, I was saying change in what? Change in Q, is it? Yes. Over
Q divided
change
P, yeah.
in P. So if you have got two coordinates, the only way you can do this is you name this one as P1 and this one is P2. This one, P1, Q2, sorry, Q1 as well. Then this is P2 and Q2. So what you then do is, if you want to determine the gradient, what you then say P1 or even say P, why am I saying P? Q1, Q2 minus Q1 over P2 minus P1. So Q2 is minus, it's 0 minus 64, right, over P2, that's 16 minus 0. So the answer will be -4. This will be the answer, this one. So what will happen then is that what will happen when the change in demand Q if price P increases by 1 unit? So it means that the demand will be decreasing by what? By -4. If we increase price by 1 unit, we will reduce this quantity with -4. Each time it will be reduced by -4, -4. So that's the question that they are asking here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yes.
Why 1 unit before? Can't it be 1?
What is the change in demand Q if price P increases by 1 unit? Remember, the formula is Q, right? Is equals to 64 minus 4P. So in other words, let's assume increases by 1 unit is like, yeah, increasing, let's say in our currency, yeah, increasing by 1 rand. Okay.
Yes.
So we then say Q is equals to 64 minus 4 times 1. So 64 minus 4, that's 60. So each unit that you are going to increase, each unit the price is going to increase by, we'll just use the 4 as the slope, -4. So it will reduce the quantity by -4, -4. If we increase by 2, still it will just multiply 2 times 4, then it will increase that. So it's like increments of 4. 4, -4, -4, -4. So that's what is happening here.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So the
transform.
change in demand, so the change in demand will be -4. That is the answer.
Yeah, it's -4.
Okay.
Yeah. Because we are talking of the gradient. Remember, like what I'm saying, the moment they say a change in demand, what they are actually asking for is the gradient. Okay. Now transform the demand function to have price P as the dependent variable. You remember that, or what you were asking that when I said sometimes they might say we want you to change the demand function. Like remember Q is the dependent variable. Now they want to say to put P as a dependent variable. And I say the dependent will be on the left of the equal sign. So since we have got Q is equals to 64 minus 4P. So what then we need to do is we want P to come here and Q to go here. So if this one goes there, it becomes positive 4P. Then 64, and this one is positive, it comes here, becomes minus Q. So we divide by 4 on each term. So P is equals to 16 minus 0.25 Q. Okay. So P will be equal to 16 minus 0.25 Q. Quarter is the same as 0.5 or 0.25. This one, Q over 4, is the same as 1 over 4 Q, which is this quarter is equal to this one. Sorry.
Okay, but now it would one be wrong if they leave it as Q over 4? Because now you're dividing this and this, it's not just a number, it has a variable on side. So you're dividing a number with a number that has a variable on the side.
This one, it's fine even if you leave it, because this one, right? This is the same as this, is the same as this. But I would advise you to maybe if the number, let's say if you divide a number like let's say 1 over 3, right? Is if you are going to use it later, maybe you want to use this value later, I would rather allow you to leave it as this one. Because if you divide 1 over 3, it will be 0.33333, you see. So maybe you would want to use this one later. The moment you round it off, then it will distort the accuracy. So, but if you are going to use it as this, but it's fine. But as long as the number that the denominator that is there is going to give you the exact decimal fraction, then you can leave it as a decimal. But if it can't, then just leave it as it is, as this one.
My question is, even though it can give you the answer as a decimal like that, would one be wrong to leave it as Q over 4?
Sorry, I didn't hear you quite well.
My question is, even though it can be workable like the way you explain it, would I be wrong to leave it as Q over 4?
Yeah, I'm saying it's fine. You leave it as Q over 4. Yeah. But remember, if I'm not mistaken, your exam might be a multiple choice person, right? So you then need to find out to see, is my final answer Q over 4 on the options that are provided, or is 0.25? Yeah. Okay. Let's do number 3. Then we call it a day. All right. So it says a supplier supplies 50 t-shirts when the price is 60 a t-shirt, and 90 t-shirts when the price is 110. Okay. So already this is a clue. Supplier supplies. So you know that you are dealing with the what? With the supply function. Okay. That's number 1. Even here, they even say determine the equation of the supply function as a function of Q. All right. So we have got a supplier who supplies 50 t-shirts when the price is 60. And remember, we say the coordinates for the supply will be what?
Price quantity.
All right. Yes. So
price quantity 60, 60, 40.
Yes, we have got 60, 50. And also we have got what? 90. That's what? 110. 90. All right. So
Isn't
now,
it the other way around, price quantity?
Yes.
Isn't it the other way around, price quantity? Yeah, no, it's
All
right.
right.
Price is, yeah, that's
All
right.
right.
Sorry.
So it's saying determine the equation of the supply function as a function of Q. So the first thing that you need to ask yourself is which determines which? Which one is determining which one? So are we going to write our equation as Q is equals to or as P is equals to? From the given scenario.
I think it will be Q equals to.
Why Q is equals to?
Because the quantity is usually determined by the price.
No, the price determines the quantity because it's a positive relationship. So the higher the price, the more the shirts are produced. The lower price, the less shirts are produced or supplied.
Okay. So now you are agreeing that the price is the one that determines this one, right?
Yes.
So remember our equation says Q is equals to C plus G P, right?
P.
So now we just change these two. So it's now P is equals to C plus GQ. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So since now we know that this is our P, this is our Q, then we need now to determine to say, okay, so our coordinates will be in the form of Q, P, right? So now, which one is Q, which one is P on these numbers? So you see that Q will be what? Will be 50.
The Q will be 50.
Then P will be 60.
Yes.
Right? Then we come here again. This will be 90 t-shirts. Then the price, so 110, 90. So that's how we write our coordinates. Okay. This one and this one. 110. Okay. So after we have done this, determine the equation. So we can, we want to see the value of C and D, okay? So remember, D is equals to this minus this over this minus this.
Can I ask?
That D is the gradient, remember.
Oh, so it'll be
Yeah.
P1,
So we are
P2
we are
minus
saying,
P1 over Q2 minus Q1.
yeah.
Like that.
So we are saying right now we are saying our coordinates are in the form of what? P, Q, right? So for
Yes.
this instance now we are saying this one. This is in other words, let's take this one as X and Y. So this one is the vice versa. I'm sorry. Let's take our coordinates as X and Y. So we are saying P, that's Y, right? And here, this side, that's what? That's X. So if we are to write here, we are saying our X is represented by Q. That's Q. Then our Y is represented by P, right? That's why we made our coordinates as this one. So this is Q1 and P1. Then we also need Q2 and P2. So we are saying our D will be equal to change in what? It says change in Y over change in X.
Change in Y.
Yes.
X.
Right. So our change in Y in this case will be P, right? So we will be saying P2 minus P1 over Q2 minus Q1. So our P2, that's 90 minus 60 over 110 minus 50. So 90 minus 60,
30.
that's 30.
Over 60.
110 minus 50, that's what?
60. 60.
60. So which will be equal to what? 0.5.
0.5.
Can I ask? Can I ask you?
Yes?
Hello. Yes. Can I ask you? So every time when you try to stop, when you're busy talking, you just try to cut off time before you proceed, when you still stuck somewhere. So sorry to disturb you, just if you can take note of that. So number one, let's start here. The deriving of making P the subject, right? You just more like you just took the P and then just place it on the other side and then Q, place it on the other side. However, from the original equation, when you derive, I don't get to have the same equation as yours. I don't know, or you just take this one and put it on the other side, or do you work it out? Like, how are we supposed to do it? From the original equation.
From this, our original equation.
Our original equation, which is Q, this one. Q is equal to C plus dP.
Is equals to what?
Yes.
C.
It's C plus dP.
dq. Okay.
I mean, no. Yeah, dP says, is it dP?
So you are saying
dP, not dq.
You are saying we make P the subject of formula.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And then,
all right.
Yes. In us doing that, you just took P to the other side and then you just, when you took Q to the right hand side, like that, aren't you supposed to work it out or you just switch?
All right. Like you are saying, in this instance, then we say dP is here is equals to maybe it's negative, or C is the one that goes there. All right, so let's do this. C is the one. So it's Q minus C. Then we divide by D. That's what you are saying.
Yes. And then P would be equal to like that.
So it will be P is equals to
Q minus C over D.
Q over D minus C over D, like this.
Yeah. Okay, I just drew one line like over all of them because it's the same.
Okay, like all
So,
in one
yes.
line.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, that is my P.
So that's P will be equals to Q minus C all over D.
Yes. That's how I
That's
thought you were going to do it.
Yeah, but
like
remember what I said. Remember what I said. I said the equation doesn't change. Here you are not supposed to flip, like you are changing, you are calculating the subject or formula. No. But what you are simply doing at this moment is that you are using the information that you are given to come up with this equation. Okay. If I still remember, I said normally sometimes you have, if you still remember, if you still recall, I said you need to pay attention to what is being asked. If they say you, like when I was explaining the dependent and the independent, and I said sometimes they would want you to say Q be the dependent and P the independent. And I said, when they say that, you know that your dependent variable will be on the what? Will be on the left side of the equal sign, and the independent will be on the right side of the equal sign. So now, since we are saying that our price is the one that determines the number of t-shirts, so we are saying our P is the one to be here, and our Q is the one to be there. But what you just need to do is just you flip, but the equation will remain as it is.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah.
I think in our calculation for the gradient D, I think we mixed up the values in the equation. It should be 90 minus 50 over 110 minus 60.
Okay. Let's check again. You are saying 90?
Yeah, because
Right.
on the top, if you look at the coordinates, 50 is the number of shirts and 90 is the number of shirts. So those should go together.
Oh, okay. So we said here our Q is the what? Is the
Quantity
our price. Okay, our Q is the quantity. Then our P is the what? Is
is the
the
price.
okay. So if we are to check here, our 50 here is the what?
The 50 is the quantity.
Quantity. Okay. We put it here, right? Then our 60 is the what? The price.
Is the price.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here that's where we mixed, right?
Yeah.
So we are saying our quantity is 90 and
90,
our
110.
price 110. Yeah, thank you so
Yeah.
much. Thank you for that. Yes.
No problem.
Yeah. Which render these calculations. Yeah, this is what I would want from you guys, Not like whatever the lecturer is doing, that's fine. We'll just see it there. No, no, no. So P2, according to here, P is 110, right? Minus 60.
60.
Yes. Over 90.
Minus 50.
Minus 40.
50.
Which is equals 50.
50.
50, yeah. Okay. So 110 minus 60. That's
Sorry,
50.
sir.
Yeah.
I think we should have the inverse of this fraction because quantity goes on the numerator, right?
Remember what I said. Our equation is P is equals to what? C minus plus dq, right? And I said our P here represents the y, and our Q represents the x. Right. So when we are determining the gradient, we say change in y over change in x. Okay. So our y values are these ones. This is our y value, y1, y2, x1, x2. Okay. So we are saying
Is it
y2, what?
Sorry, sir. Is it because you're asking as a function of q? Is that why we inversing it? We're putting p equals.
Yes, yes. Remember,
Because normally it's a function of q.
Yes, remember, yes, it's a
Okay.
function of q. Remember also here, what we are doing, the one that is the one that is on the y-axis is the one that you put on top. But if it was q is equals to what? C plus dp. That's when we were supposed to say q2 minus q1 over p1, p2 minus p1, yes. So 110 minus 60, then that's one
50,
then we have
40.
what? Which is equal to 1.25, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. 1.25. So D is equals to 1.25. So from our equation there, let me just remove these things. So now we know that our D is equals to 1.25. So Q is equals to C plus 1.25.
P.
Q. This one is P.
It's P.
Yeah. Remember we swapped. Now we want to find the value of C. Already we can use the coordinates that we have already here. So let's say our Q is 50, then our P is 60. So we say 60 is equals to C plus 1.25
250
by Q, that's 50. Yes. So 60 is equals to C 1.25 times 50 is what?
62.5.
Yes. So plus 62.5. Then this one goes there. So C will be equals to 60 minus 62.5, which is equals to minus 2.25. So the equation now will become P is equals to minus 2.25 plus 1.25.
Should it be 2.50? Is in 2.5, I mean.
Sorry, I don't know what is it's just 2.5. Okay. Yeah, 2.5. So this is the equation that they wanted you to provide. This one.
Now we're doing which number?
Sorry? It's
We're doing which one now?
we're doing number A. Determine the equation of the supply as a function of Q.
Which one number A?
Yeah, it was number A.
Okay, when they say determine that, weren't you supposed just to give? Okay, determine the function. Okay. I thought we were supposed to just give the equation, like P is equal to that one.
Like what?
Yeah.
Like P
Like P is equal to
C.
C plus D2. I thought that was that.
Or DQ. No.
Now,
They wanted you to find this one. This.
now, then like for us.
Yeah. Determine the equation of the supply function as a function of Q. So this is what we did. So all this that we were doing.
How many?
No, remember, we were just, it's different from when we are doing it alone. Here we are collaborating, that's why probably it's taking long. But you find out now that when you are doing it alone, you will be able to do it quickly.
To do it faster. So you mean
yes, yes. Because like now, remember, we are just asking each other questions to say, how do you do this? How do you do this? But now, when you are given the same question like this, you won't take that long. Because already, firstly, you do this, that's your general equation, right? Now you want to plug the values of C and of D in that equation. Then you list your coordinates like this, then you calculate, then you put it there. It might not even take more than 3 minutes, you'll be done.
Okay, I believe you. Okay.
No, don't worry. So write this down, this one. P is equals to minus 2.5 plus 1.25 Q. Okay, so it says, how many additional t-shirts are supplied for each successful R1 increase in price? Remember, when you look at P, right, is equals to minus 2.5. This is our equation, right? Plus 1.25. So this one, now that's when you can convert it now, this one. Whereby you want to make Q the remember it asks you how many additional t-shirts are supplied for each successful R1 increase in price. So for you to determine that now, you want to see the inverse of this one. So that's when you say you want to remain with Q this side. So this one will go there, right? So it will be 1.25 Q is equals to P plus 2.5, right? Then you divide by 1.5. If you divide by 1.25, Q here is equals to 1 divided by 1.25, that's 0.8, right? 0.8 P plus 2.5 divided by 1.25 plus 2, right? So in other ways, this equation is 2 plus 0.8 P. So now we are asked how many additional t-shirts are supplied for each successful R1 increase in price. So this is your gradient. You take this one. So which means they will increase by what? 0.8. This one. Okay. Then how many t-shirts are supplied when the price is 85 Rand? You can even use this formula now. So Q is equals to 0.8 times 85 plus 2. What do we get? That's 68, right? Plus 2. So they will produce 70. They will produce 70 t-shirts. So what is the price when 120 t-shirts are supplied? You can now use this one. So P is equals to minus 2.5 plus 1.25 times 120. Then minus 2.5 plus 1.25 times 120.
147.5.
Then 150, right? So, which is equal to, then that one minus this 2.5, 147.5. So Rand 147.5. So that's all that they wanted you to do. So what I would just encourage you is just to go on and practice this, what we did so far, especially this part. Then you see, why did we do this? Then you find the answers. I'll send the recordings afterwards. I'll send the recordings so that you will be able also to follow through. Okay?
I will really appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're gonna send them through WhatsApp, via WhatsApp.
Yeah, I'll send via WhatsApp.
Okay, thank you.
When is the next class?
I will tell you on the link, but I think for you guys, you are still okay because your assignment is, I think, around early April, right? But it's even close. But I hope it will be done by the time when you are writing your assignment number 1.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
you.